each painting, I do a lot of faces. And how that happened, I don't know. The first face I ever did, I didn't know how to paint or what to do with the brush, and so I did it with my fingers. It was acrylic. And I kept remembering, for some reason, my mother and my grandmother, who I was raised by, and my grandmother especially, so I named it Grandmother. It didn't look like my grandmother, but it drew me into so much, I think, that she had gone through. And particularly the eyes just really, I mean, I'd be up till 3 o'clock in the morning just looking at these eyes. I stopped because I thought, oh, I'll put feathers in this and make it a chief. And what I did was remember things that had happened. And I remember how Indians, I read how they were dressed up in certain costumes. And I didn't want to put my grandma in a costume because I didn't know exactly what she wore. So I decided that I would honor her by doing abstract around her. And that way it would show the dignity that she had and show a bit of the sadness of what she had gone through, and yet prove that she was steadfast and honorable, and nothing could take away her dignity, no matter what you put on me. That's one of the reasons. The creative is just probably growing up and looking at a lot of pictures, and it came much later in life after living different places of the world. And as I looked at the Indian, now Native American faces, again, they drew me in. The wrinkles, the beautiful noses, the eyes. And I just became mesmerized by it, so I did more faces. And they would come from different sources. I didn't need to copy anything because it was kind of just in my mind. It was just there. As I said with my grandma, I did her with my fingers, and then I started using brushes and played around with that. And I didn't really take a class on how to connect all the colors, but I just somehow would do colors that were of the earth and then try to brighten it with other colors. One of the paintings I have is all in earth colors. It just comes, I don't know how to explain it. It's just what it's in my mind and spirit at the same time. Well, I can go back to one of my paintings that is of a baby in a cradle, papoose, and in back of her is a white buffalo. Her or him, I'm not even sure, you can be whatever. And once I finished it, but I didn't think I was finished because the buffalo had feminine eyes, and I thought, you know, a buffalo is one of my favorite animals, if not my favorite. Well, I love dogs. But it seemed to, after looking at the baby had had elder eyes. And all of a sudden it hit me, this is what the white buffalo is a recreation of the spirit, and it looks over you. The white buffalo is going to tell you everything's going to be all right. And with the baby coming in with elder eyes, the baby already knew that he or she was protected. So I think that's part of it. In the show, yes, one is a warrior. And as I did him, he kept getting more ghostly looking. And I remember the first time I showed him, people were kind of like this. And I could see where they would think that way, but I was just thinking about this last night. That was my first show, and now this is years later, and now when people look at that painting, they go, wow, and I say, well, that's my protector. And they say, oh, I can see it. This is powerful. That's wonderful. So I attribute it to my feelings at the time and how I've changed. This space is wonderful. Kimberly has done a wonderful job here. How can you not look at any of it and say, you have to stand there a while and look at it and really soak it in and hope that maybe the artist is there to talk to you. If not, you don't need the artist because there's so many different things going on. I've worked with a lot of these people before, and it's a wonderful community, I must say. I've learned a lot from them. Not just painting and the art, just from their soul. It's wonderful. I'm very happy about it. Probably, because it can get, the painting is one thing. Getting the painting to where it can be shown is another thing. And that's the hard part. Getting it fitted right, I do it all myself, the wiring and all of that. So the transportation and driving around Los Angeles, are you kidding me? That's just the hard part. But when you get there, you're with the other people, and it's just all heaven then.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.